What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another football video where today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of Premier League matchday number 32. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Also, don't forget to let me know your Premier League predictions in the comments below. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. SofaScore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the grounds. They'll keep you up to date with the latest football information. They'll keep you up to date with all the latest scores from around the grounds, along with the latest statistics, the latest team news, and all your good footballing needs all in one place, all in one app. It's not just limited to football scores and information. It's got you guys covered for all the sports that you guys love to follow. So do go and check it out. It is a free app to download and very highly rated. And anyone that does check out SofaScore using my link in the description does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So just having a brief look at my predictions from matchday number 31. I've got 2 correct scores, 2 correct results, 6 incorrect. Not my best performance. I think I'm going to grade myself a 4 out of 10, and that's for the 2 correct scores, because getting correct scores are quite difficult. So I'm always happy to get a couple correct. I'd have preferred a couple more correct results, and that would have been not too bad. A 2-4-4 would have been pretty good, but a 2-2-6, I'll just give myself a 4 out of 10. So having a look on Saturday 5th of April, I got 3 incorrect. I went with a 2-0 Arsenal win at Goodison Park, finished 1-1. I went with a 1-1 draw at Selhurst Park for Crystal Palace against Brighton, a good win for Crystal Palace, continuing their good form over the last 10 games. I think they're second in the form table, which is fantastic for Crystal Palace, really hitting form at the right end of the season. And I was also incorrect with going with a 2-0 West Ham win against Bournemouth at home, that finished 2-2. The 2 I did get correct though was Ipswich against Wolves, which finished 2-1 to Wolves, and also 2-1 Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. So that win for Wolves near enough cementing their safety into the Premier League, and more or less means that not only is Southampton, who have been confirmed as relegated last weekend, but it also means that Leicester City and Ipswich Town are on their way down as well, and Aston Villa taking a good stride towards potential Champions League football for next season. Nottingham Forest still got a bit of work, although it is still very much in their favour for Champions League football for next season. On the Sunday, I got 3 incorrect. So I went with a 2-1 Chelsea away win against Brentford. Boring game, 0-0. I went with a 1-0 Liverpool away win against Fulham, finished 3-2. So Liverpool are going to win the Premier League, so have no implications on that. But Fulham, looking like maybe they could be challenging for a European spot for next season. And I also went with a 2-0 Manchester City away win in the Manchester derby, and that also boring game, 0-0. I did go with a 2-1 Spurs win. I was nearly correct with that one. That finished 3-1 to Tottenham Hotspur, which does mean that Southampton now officially have been relegated. And I went with a 2-0 Newcastle win, again not too far away with that. That finished 3-0 to Newcastle away from home against Leicester City, which means more than likely Leicester City going down. And Newcastle looking pretty strong heading into the final few games of the Premier League season as they look to try and secure Champions League football for next season. So having a look at matchday number 32, starting on Saturday 12th of April 2025 in the early kickoff at 12:30 p.m. BST, live on TNT Sports. You've got Manchester City taking on the in-form Crystal Palace. Manchester City are needing 3 points if they're wanting Champions League football for next season. Crystal Palace have got very much a point to prove. They want to try and cause an upset at the Etihad Stadium and continue their good form. So for Manchester City, a very difficult game with all the pressure on Manchester City. If City do turn up and play to the best of their ability, I think they will be too strong for Crystal Palace. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for City playing at the Etihad Stadium, making home advantage count, and I'm going with Manchester City, even though it is a tricky game, in particular with how good Crystal Palace can be on the road away from home. I'm going for City to make that quality count, and going for a similar performance from what we've seen from Manchester City at home against against the likes of Newcastle and Chelsea when City have managed to beat them. And normally at this business end of the season, when tough get going, City normally get going themselves and manage to apply themselves and pick up the results that are needed. So I'm going 2-1 Manchester City. I'm hoping for 2-1 Manchester City with me being a City fan. So hopefully we can make it happen. I'm not going to sit here though and rule out Crystal Palace doing something at the Etihad Stadium like many other teams have done so far this season, as Man City's poor season for them continues. Now into the 3 p.m. games, you've got Brighton taking on Leicester City at the Amex Stadium, going for a comprehensive 3-0 Brighton win, and for them to get back to winning ways after losing to Crystal Palace last weekend. So I'm going 3-0 Brighton and Hove Albion. I'm also going for Nottingham Forest to get back to winning ways after their loss against Aston Villa away from home, with a 2-1 home win at the City Ground against Everton. I think Forest will be too strong for Everton there. And then down on the south coast, you've got Southampton taking on Aston Villa. Aston Villa will do a lot of rotation ahead of their big second leg game in the Champions League quarter-final against PSG. They've got a lot of work to do, being 3-1 down in Paris and coming back to Villa Park on Tuesday night. It means Aston Villa, with a tight turnaround of games, are going to have to do a bit of rotation, but I still think Aston Villa rotated too strong for Southampton, going 3-0 Aston Villa. And then the final game on Saturday at the Emirates Stadium, going full rotation for Arsenal ahead of their game against Real Madrid on Wednesday night in the second leg. Arsenal, yes, they're 3-0 up, but still got a lot of work to do. Real Madrid are a fantastic Champions League team who, even when the odds are very much stacked against them like they are right now, they still always just seem to find a way to make something happen to ensure that they go through. How many times have we seen Real Madrid, with all the odds against them, manage to pull out something from nothing? And Arsenal have got to be really wary of that, so they have to be nice and sharp. So they're going to do a full rotation. And Brentford are a good team, and with Arsenal making a lot of changes, I'm going for Arsenal to drop points, going 1-1. And for me, Arsenal's best chance of success for this season stands in the Champions League rather than the Premier League, because I just think the amount of games left, I just think there's too much for Arsenal to do with trying to catch up Liverpool. So I just don't see that happening, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's one of them where I think Arsenal maybe would have preferred Liverpool to have played before them, because if they drop points in their home game against West Ham, then Arsenal will be taking their game more seriously against Brentford. Arsenal will want to try and get that pressure on. They will want to make them changes. Will them changes be enough to beat a team as good as Brentford? I'm not so sure, going 1-1. Moving on to the games on Sunday, at Stamford Bridge, you've got Chelsea taking on Ipswich at 2 p.m. at BST. Chelsea too strong, going for a 2-0 win there for Chelsea. Liverpool taking on West Ham at 2 p.m. BST, live on Sky Sports. I think Liverpool will be too strong for West Ham. Narrow win for Liverpool, going 1-0, and for them to solidify themselves as the pending Premier League champions. And to Molineux in the final 2 p.m. game on Sunday, you've got Wolves taking on Spurs. Going for these two teams to cancel each other out, going 1-1. It was quite a difficult game actually to predict. I don't know what is going to happen, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm just going for two teams to cancel each other out. I'm going 1-1. Could be 0-0. Could be a Wolves win, Spurs win. I don't know. I think that's one of the more unpredictable games for this upcoming match day. And then the final game on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. at BST, live on Sky Sports. You've got Newcastle United taking on Manchester United, and I'm going Newcastle, making home advantage count. Newcastle too strong for Manchester United, and another big 3 points for Newcastle, going for a 2-1 win for them on Sunday. And then on to Monday evening, the final game, you've got AFC Bournemouth taking on Fulham at 8 p.m. BST from Dean Court, live on Sky Sports. Going for these two teams to cancel each other out, and going for AFC Bournemouth 1, Fulham 1. Now a little bonus for you guys, Wednesday evening on the 16th of April, you've got Newcastle taking on Crystal Palace in their game in hand. That's kicking off at 7:30 p.m. BST, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. I think Newcastle are going to be too strong for Crystal Palace, and going for another big 3 points for Newcastle. And with these results, Newcastle very much looking like one of the informed teams to cement Champions League football for next season. It is important to remember that Arsenal's result against Real Madrid midweek has now confirmed that 5th place in the Premier League is a Champions League spot for next season. So the likes of Nottingham Forest, Newcastle United, Chelsea, Manchester City, Aston Villa, maybe an outside chance of Fulham, all very interested in potentially 3 spots in the Champions League for next season for 3rd, 4th and 5th place. So that's where we stand. So they've been my predictions. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.